Alright, welcome back. We're going to talk about marriage and divorce. And here's the situation. The game has been going on. And right now, I have to decide if I land on marriage, whether or not I want to get married. And right now I'm over here on Sunset Boulevard. And I look at my situation here. I have $2,100. I've been buying some properties. And therefore, I only have 5 credit chips left. And this means that I have 5 properties, because every time you buy a property, you have to give up 1 credit chip. And so I have 5 properties, 2 of which are favorites. One is a handyman special, Park Avenue, which I haven't fixed up yet, so I can't do anything with it. And I have Shelter Cove and Pine Hill. Now, when I look at the combined value, now you can have a calculator handy, and you can add it up if you want to, but just glancing over the property values, I can see that I have about $300,000 here and another $100,000, $150,000. So I have about $450,000 in property values, and so I can't retire just yet. And that could be a deciding factor when it comes to getting married. And also, I can borrow about $30,000 if I needed the extra money. But what good really is borrowing all that money? Because when I borrow, all that's going to do is it's going to reduce the value of the properties that I do have. And so I'm really giving up the chances of winning the game. And so let's say that it is my turn to roll, and I go and roll a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I land on the marriage circle. Now, another thing that I need to point out is that I don't have a prenup card. So that's a tough decision. Do I get married? Well, first of all, let's find out what happens if I do decide to get married. If I do get married, I'm going to get back the 5 credit chips that I have in the bowl. So I'm going to have all my credit chips back. That's going to give me more buying power. And secondly, every time I come around the board, I'm going to get 2,000 instead of 1,000 here. Everything is going to double. If I land on school, I get 20,000 instead of 10,000. If I land on overtime, I'm going to get 4,000 instead of 2,000. So everything doubles. Now, if I were retired, I would collect my money as I come around the retirement circle, or if I land on it. So that's very, very advantageous. It's really interesting to consider also whether or not you retire when you decide to get married. But the biggest problem that I'm facing right now is I don't have a prenup card, because if I land on divorce without that card, first of all, if I land on divorce and I have a prenup card, then I would simply give up the prenup card, put it back in the stack, and then I keep all my properties. What happens if I land on divorce and I don't have the prenup card? Well, it means that I'm going to have to give up 2 of my properties. If you have an even number of properties, such as 4, I would give up 2. If I had 6 properties, I'd give up 3. And those would go into repo. But I have 5 properties, which is odd numbers. If you have an odd number of properties, such as 5, 3, or 7, you have to give up the lesser half. So I would have to give up 2 properties here. And already I'm thinking which properties, if I do decide to get married, which ones that I'd probably want to give up. And usually it's the cheaper properties, maybe the blue properties. But in this case, one of my blue properties is a favorite. And so I need that favorite because I have Beverly Hills also. And so that's not a good property to give up. And the next deciding factor is maybe the yellow properties. I can probably give these up if I landed on divorce. So you can see that you're going to get into situations in the game and you have to decide, well, what is it that you want to do. Now, if I do decide to get married, I take my counterpart here, the other token, and I just snap them together here, and then I am married. Now, that just reminds me to collect double every time I land on school or go past the office. Alright, but as I said before, this is a gamble because I don't have that prenup card, and there are the other players here, Chris, John, and Linda. They're just waiting for me to land on divorce, so the properties can go into repo, and they would pick up that property if they land on it with just 1 credit chip. Okay, and I think that's basically it. Marriage is optional. You don't have to get married, but there are some advantages of getting married. The only downfall to that is if you land on divorce and you don't have that prenup card. Now, by the way, if someone else has a prenup card, I can negotiate. I can try to buy that prenup card from them if they will sell it to me. Sometimes a player might have one prenup card and they hold on to it, and they pick up a second prenup card, and they get to sell that or try to bargain it before putting it back in the. They can't keep two prenup cards. So if you pick up a second or third prenup card, you can try to sell the additional cards, but you can't keep them. All right, and that's basically it for marriage and divorce. So in this case here, I would get married because I need the extra money, and also I need the credit chips back that is going to allow me to purchase additional properties if I want. All right, I'll see you next time.